Hey everyone, Mike Burke here with InsideRealEstatePhotography.com, and in this video we're going to take a look at a few flash modifiers to see which ones, if any, work well for flambient or flash real estate photography. So if you're someone that uses flash for your real estate photography, maybe you've tried out a few modifiers, maybe you haven't. I have my AD200 Pro here, probably the most popular flash for real estate photography, AD200 or AD200 Pro. And on it is the Fresnel head that comes with it. Probably most people will use that, and it does work, but my go-to has been this round head, so this has been my preference. It just has a more pleasing sort of spread to it. And I want to see which one of these. I've never really tried any of these for real estate photography. I have a few of these. Other ones, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different ones here. So we're gonna do a little experiment. I'm gonna pop off some flash shots here with each one. I have my flash on a light stand here just so I can kind of keep it consistent in the way it's positioned and everything like that. So let's see which one of these, is good, which one of these isn't. Maybe it's better than the Fresnel head, maybe it's not. I just want to see which ones work well, which ones don't. And I will link to these all down in the description below in case any of you want to purchase any of these as well. So I'm here at a real life shoot. We're going to switch these modifiers out one by one, do the same shot for each. That way we have sort of apples to apples to compare later to see which one is the best. I have no idea which one's the best. I'm doing this experiment with you guys here now. I've never done this before. I've never tried some of these before for real estate photography. So maybe there's gonna be a clear winner, maybe there's not. Maybe they are gonna be similar. I have no idea. So let's find out together which one's gonna be the best. Before we continue on with this video, I just wanna share a quick word about our sponsor, PixelMob. Are you looking for a professional real estate photo editor to help lighten your workload? Are you having a hard time finding a good and reliable editor, or don't even know where to look for one? Or maybe you just personally struggle with editing and can't seem to achieve the professional end result that you've been looking for? If any of this sounds like you should definitely check out PixelMob. PixelMob helps take the guesswork out of finding a reputable editor and connects you with the right people to do the job. PixelMob is an awesome website that links you up with available editors capable of doing just about any sort of real estate photo editing you can imagine, including HDR blending, flambient, virtual staging, object removal, etc. The best part of all is that PixelMob vets all the editors prior to allowing them onto their platform to ensure that they can indeed deliver on what they say they can. I also really like that there's a peer review system where photographers can rate the editors from 1 to 5 stars, giving you further tools and helping you choose the best editor to work with for your particular job. The editor also does not get paid until you are satisfied with your order. If you've ever been in the search for an editor and tried a few out, then you know full well there's been such a sore need for something like PixelMob in our industry, and I really think a lot of us real estate photographers can benefit from this service. It's completely free to sign up, and if you use my link pixelmob.com/IREP, you will receive $5 in credit towards your first order, so there's no reason to at least not give it a try. You'll also find that link down in the description of this video. All right, just really quick, I want to show you what we're going to be looking at here in this video. First is the Fresnel head, which again is the most typical one for the AD200. It just looks like your typical like speedlight head. Next is the round head, which has been my favorite and go-to. I like it better than the Fresnel head. We'll see those two side by side. Next is a MagMod diffuser. You may have heard of MagMod. It's a popular sort of a flash attachment sort of accessory brand. And this is a very popular diffuser thing, but not really for real estate photography per se, but it is a popular product. And I use it a lot for like events and stuff if I'm shooting something like that. Here is the bare bulb head for the AD200 that comes with the AD200, but these other two attachments use that attached to that head. So we can try the bare bulb, without any modifier on it, but it's gonna be like probably super intense and crazy. It's not gonna be good. But anyway, these two attached to that. So here's this like globe sort of diffuser, which actually might be nice, I don't know. So that will attach to that. And also here is like another sort of diffuser thing. And if you can actually take the lid off of it so you can see so the lid comes off. So we can try this without, this is like a diffuser that goes on top. So we can try this, like this, and it has a sort of reflector inside, so it probably will, concentrate the light and bounce it a lot more than this will probably. But then, we could try it both without the diffuser on it and with the diffuser on it. So those are the modifiers that I have, and I'm shocked that I've never even tried this before. I've had these sitting around for years, but I don't know, I've never had the opportunity. So here we are. I always like to learn new things, try new things. So we're gonna look at these together now and see which one does the best job. So first off, we have the Fresnel head. You can see I have it on the light stand, pointing perfectly straight up at the ceiling, pretty close to the ceiling. Same position as I would if I was holding it in my hand, which I typically do when I shoot flambient. I have my flash power at half power plus 0.3. Usually I'm around half power in a room like this. Usually I start out around a half and see where I need to take it from there. So this is all set and ready to go. Let's fire off the shot and see what it looks like. All right, so now I put the round head on. Let's see what this looks like. All right, so next up we have the MagMod, modifier, diffuser. And how this works is this goes on top of like the Fresnel head and has this sort of sleeve that goes over it, which is magnetic. So it just sticks on, and you can put other attachments on there like gels and things like that. MagMod is a cool system if you do other types of photography. So I'm gonna throw this on there and let's take this shot. All right, let's take this shot. All right, so now I have the bare bowl attachment on there. It's probably gonna be way too hot and like ridiculous, but just wanted to see what it looks like. We're gonna throw it in the mix anyway, and then we'll put those other attachments on it. So let's see what this looks like. All right, so now I'm gonna do this sort of reflector type attachment on the bare bulb without the diffuser, so no diffuser cap on it, just this reflector head. All right, so now I'm putting the diffuser cap on it. We'll see what this looks like. All right, so last but not least, we're gonna do this sort of diffusion globe sort of thing, similar to the MagMod, kinda. So maybe it has similar result, I don't know. Let's put this on here and find out. All right, so that's all the modifiers. What do you guys think already? Please leave a comment down below and let me know. I think I already have a favorite. Does any of them stand out to you? Do you have a favorite? Let me know. All right, let's take them back to the computer and look at them side by side. All right, so now let's take a look on the computer here and see what we got and see what worked best. But before we do that, let's just talk a little bit about what we're looking for here. And for me, it's about the quality of the light. So, by putting a modifier on it, is it evening out the light? Is it softer? Is it more pleasing to the eye rather than just like a harsh flash blast, if you know what I mean? So I like to try to get the most pleasing look out of it as I can. When you blend it together with your ambient frame later, I think it makes a difference, less hot spots, more evenly dispersed, that sort of thing, just soft, all those kind of things matter to me personally. So that's what I'm looking for in a flash modifier. So without further ado, let's just jump in and take a look at these side by side. I just wanted to go over that really quick and let's see what we got. All right, so this first frame is just an ambient frame. I just took one of those just for reference, just to see what that looked like. So this is no flash whatsoever. This next one is the Fresnel head. So as you can see, it overpowered the ambient light. If we look at the ambient, you can see this blue light on the couch from the, from the window, just the ambient color cast and everything. Looking at this one, you could see that the flash killed all the, color cast really and give us a nice clean flash frame, which is exactly what the mission of the flash is for flambient photography. Overpower the ambient light, get rid of color cast. So now we have, look, the couch is nice, clean and gray, the color that it should be, as opposed to, we look at this, you can see the yellow orangey color of the lights, overhead lights, the bluish color of the light coming through the window. So that is the mission of the flash frame in flambient photography, is to overpower the ambient light, get rid of those color casts, give us this nice clean flash image so we have accurate color across the board. So that is the reason for the flash in general. That mission has been achieved here with the Fresnel head. Overall, this is, will work just fine. It's a little hot over here, maybe over here. Considering the evenness of it, it's a little maybe uneven, just hotter in areas. And now let's just look at the next one, which is the round head, my go-to for the past however many years. This is the round head. And you can see, you know, just in general, the exposure has gone cut down just a little bit, and modifiers will do that. As I mentioned on site, it's going to affect the exposure because you're putting something in front of the light and diffusing it and making it less powerful, basically. Say we just bump this up a little bit exposure wise, just to make it match a little bit better. So from one to the other. So yeah, pretty close, more comparable now. So if we compare these two side by side, so on the left is the Fresnel head and on the right here is the round head. And you know what, all in all, you know, after adjusting the exposure just a little bit, it's pretty darn close. But if we look like, you know, in these hotter areas, like the round head, I feel like is just a little bit more evenly exposed, you know, less hot in these areas, you know, not by much. I mean, it's pretty darn close. A lot of these differences here are going to be subtle in these modifiers, I think. But, you know, either way, you know, these will both work fine for flambient, obviously. Which one's better? I think the round head is better, just like I said. You know, I've compared these two in other instances for myself, and I just feel like overall the round head is a little bit better, more pleasing, even, you know, in general, just a little bit. You know, it's not a huge advantage or anything, but I think it's a little bit better than just the regular Fresnel head. You know, it's just a little bit more harsh, the Fresnel head. Out of these two, you know, my pick is the round head. I just think it's a little bit more even across the board. So now let's take a look at the next one. This is the MagMod modifier here. And I like the way this lit, actually. You know, on site, when I said I kind of had a favorite, I was thinking this might be my favorite one. It's a very evenly lit image, I feel like. I saw, as far as the lighting of the room goes, I feel like it's, you know, the most even across the board. And it's also good quality light, I feel like, as far as, you know, not being overly harsh or anything like that. So I do like it in that regard. What I'm noticing now looking at the computer though, it's like there's a bit of a greenish hue to it. And, you know, we can take it and develop here and just, you know, boost the magenta maybe slightly. Sometimes I tweak these flash images before I blend them together because, you know, it might need a slight exposure tweak. That's just normal no matter what. So if I have to do a minor tweak like that, it's not a big deal. All right, so comparing it side by side with the round head here, like if you look in this corner here, like it's slightly just darker here, like, and whereas the MagMod, it's like just well lit and evenly lit. You know, again, this is a subtle thing, but I just feel like, you know, even in this corner too, like it's just darker here on the round head by a slight amount, but I just feel like it's more evenly lit with the MagMod. I like both of these. I might, you know, I think I'm gonna give the edge to the MagMod here though. I just think it's slightly doing a better job, you know, lighting the room, and, you know, it's similar quality wise, the light quality and everything. Even, you know, if we look down here, it's even less on the harsh side. And this, I didn't even have to tweak the exposure at all. You know, I had to tweak the green tint a little bit, but not a big deal. But I just, you know, I feel like the quality light is just a little softer too. So I don't know, I think the MagMod might be my new favorite. So I might be switching to this one, but of course we have a few more to look at. So let's look at a couple more here. So this was the bare bulb with no modifier on it whatsoever. Like I said, it was gonna be pretty harsh. I mean, even so, like, this is totally usable, to be honest. Like, you could get away with this, absolutely. You could tell though, again, like the quality of the light is just pretty harsh here. But, you know, it will work. Like, it's gonna make these harsher shadows, the whole thing, you know, it's very intense. Definitely not gonna be something I'm gonna use, but again, I just wanted to throw that in there in the mix anyway. So here we have the bare bulb with the reflector attachment with no diffuser on the top though. So that's what this is. So if I can compare it to the MagMod, this is the MagMod here on the left, and then on the right here is the bare bulb with a reflector attachment, no diffuser. And again, I think the MagMod's winning here, just how much better and more evenly lit it is. As you can see, it's just with the reflector thing, like the spread isn't as good. so it's more directed. Like with that cone, I don't think it's not letting it spread out, you know, to the sides as well as the MagMod does, because the MagMod is just kind of free to go everywhere, which is kind of more what we want for real estate photography. We don't want it to be too directed, which is what that kind of cone shaped thing might be doing. It's not allowing it to spill out to the sides as well. If you notice here, just around the top of the wall here and the ceiling, it's just darker. You can see a lot more shadow in here. It's just not as evenly lit, again, as the MagMod. You can see in the corner, like how much darker this is than over here. So this is just doing a much better job spreading the light out evenly across the room. And I like the quality of the light better here with the MagMod. So again, I think the MagMod wins here. Now this is the bare bulb with a reflector attachment again, but with the diffuser on it. So if we look at this one, this is no diffuser. And then this one is with the diffuser. Again, no diffuser with diffuser. Again, diffusion will cut the exposure down a little bit. So, you know, if we want to compare it a little bit better, we can bump the exposure here on the one that had the diffuser. So yeah, that's pretty darn even. So I bumped it up, you know, a third of a stop here almost. So, you know, again, so that's no diffuser, that's with diffuser, no diffuser, with diffuser. It's a very subtle difference. So again, on the left is the MagMod, and then on the right is the reflector cone thing with the diffuser on it. Sorry, I don't know what the actual name for that thing is, so that's what I'm calling it. So, all right. Again, you know, MagMod is just, you know, more evenly lit. It's pretty much the same thing as the reflector thing without the diffuser on it. It's just, again, you know, the MagMod is my favorite, I think, with the close second being the round head, which I still like, but the MagMod is just, yeah, you can see, just looking at these again, like the top of the wall here, you can see it light right up when I go to the MagMod here. It just, you know, it's just lighting up the room a lot more evenly. So round head, MagMod, round head, MagMod, it's just much more evenly lit. So finally, we have this, which was the white sort of diffusion globe that goes onto the bare bulb head. So I noticed this, I'm sure you did too on site, that there's crazy white balance issues here. Like the whole thing has just got an orange color cast. And that might be because it's like bouncing too much off of the floor or something, but I took this shot off camera like 5 more times after I stopped recording to see if it was just like a weird like auto white balance issue or something like that. But like this result happened every single time exactly the same way. So it's just doing something weird. This is definitely going to be crossed off the list immediately just because of this issue. I don't know what it's doing, why it's making it look orange, but it's not going to be a contender here, unfortunately. I actually had hopes for that thing. I thought it was going to do a nice job because of like the shape of it. I thought it was going to nicely emit from like all different angles and like sort of like the MagMod. Like I said, on the site, I thought it was going to be similar to the MagMod, but it's obviously got some issues here with like creating white balance issue. So definitely not going to be something I'm going to use. So just going back here, I think the top 3, in my opinion, are, this is third place is the Fresnel Head, which does a decent job. Then second place is the next one, which is the round head, just a little bit better lit than the Fresnel Head, more even. And then MagMod, which is even more evenly lit, I feel like is the number 1. So I think it just incrementally gets better there, from the Fresnel Head to the round head to the MagMod. I think it just keeps getting more evenly lit as you go through those 3. The MagMod, of course, being the most evenly lit, and I think the best quality of light here. So I think it's the winner for sure in my eyes, you know, from what I'm looking at. I think it just changed what I'm going to be using from now on. I think I'm going to switch to the MagMod. I think it's the winner. I still like the round head and the Fresnel Head. I think they all do a pretty good job. I think any of those will do you right, but I think the best is the MagMod from this experiment. Of course, this is one room, you know, it's not a whole shoot, but you know, I think that kind of shows that it's a better, you know, modifier than what I've been using. So what do you guys think about this? Please, I want to know your opinions down in the comments below. Is there a modifier that I didn't mention in this video or use in this video that you use that you find works really well? please let us know about that. I'd really love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions on this, so please leave a comment. All right guys, so that's it for this video. Again, I will leave links down in the description below to these modifiers in case you're interested in purchasing any of them. Also take a look down there. There are other great links such as to a sky replacement pack I offer, editing practice packs, my Patreon page, a bunch of great stuff. Also, of course, Pixelmob, the sponsor of this video, in case you're looking for an editor. They're a great resource, so check them out as well. Thanks again so much for watching this video, and I'll see you again soon on the next one.